thinking why I am here in front of you? Yes, you're right. You're very right. I am going to tell you that we are going to present all those topics just to inform you the strategies and proper ways that may help you in your future field industry. So, what are you waiting for? You better listen carefully because we are about to start in 3, 2, 1.
Good day everyone, I'm John Lorena and I'm here to discuss about a resume. So what is a resume? A resume is a job letter. It is the most requested document by an employer to an applicant in a job application. Why? Because a resume summarizes your work experiences, your skills, your achievements, and your education that will help the employer assess you if you're employable for a specific job. The purpose of resume is to serve as your marketing tool, and it is like an advertisement of yourself in promoting your qualification for that specific job. So for the different types of a resume, we have 3. The first one is chronological resume. This resume means that you focus on your work history in a reverse chronological order. So for the second type of resume format, we have functional resume. Unlike the chronological resume, this format focuses on your skills and achievements. This is the most preferred format by applicants that didn't have enough work experiences or history. So emphasizing your skills and achievements will still make you employable for that job. So for the third and last resume format, we have a combination resume. This is basically a mixture of functional and chronological. It lets you focus both on your skills and achievements while backing this up with your work history. So let's proceed to the contents of a resume or what we should include in our resume letter. The first one to include in a resume letter is personal details. A resume letter should have your personal details such as your name, your address, and any contact information such as email address and contact number. It will be used by an employer to contact you for an interview. So for the next one, we have the objective. This is the part of a resume where you explain your goals and what you want to do with yourself and for the company. So for the next one is the education. This is the part of resume where you stated the highest degree you achieved and special awards and other educational achievements. So for the fourth one, we have the work experiences. It is important to include your work history as it helps the employer assess if you have enough experiences for that specific job. So for the last one is a reference. Reference must be included in your resume letter because it will help the employer verify if you really become an employee to that company, if you really have enough experiences and background of that specific job. So that's all for my discussion. Thank you for listening.
Good day everyone, I am Liza Espina and I am going to report about tips on writing a resume. So first tip is select the best resume type. There are several basic types of resume you can use to apply for a job openings. It depends on your personal circumstances. You can choose a chronological, functional, or combination resume. Taking the time to choose the best type of resume for your situation is well worth the effort. Next is make it legible. Your resume should be easy to read. If you want the hiring manager to easily read and absorb your resume, you should use a legible font like Arial or Calibri. And make sure that your font size is not too big or too small. Also, make sure that there is enough space on the page to make it easy to scan. Lastly, if you are sending a physical resume, use a white colored paper. Next is be consistent. Professional resumes need to have a consistent formatting. Like for example, if you use bullet points to describe your achievements or your responsibilities at one position, make sure that you use also a bullet points in all other positions as well. Also, be consistent with font style, font size, font color, and etc. Next is carefully edit your resume. Spelling and grammar errors can make an applicant seem inattentive to details. So, review the guidelines to ensure that your resume is consistent and error-free. Then, check it again. Next is, get resume help. Writing a resume is hard work and it is important to get help or at least have your resume reviewed before you send it to your employers. You can get the help to a professional resume service to help you make sure that your resume is professional and polished. Lastly, check your resume. Use a resume checklist to make sure you have included all the relevant information in your resume. And avoid common mistakes on your resume. And use writing strategies that can lead to success in resume reviews. So, that's all for the tips on writing a resume. Moving on to the next topic, which is the differences between curriculum vitae and resume. For curriculum vitae or CV, it is a record of your academic and professional achievements. So, for the content, it contains a chronological arrangement of all the achievements in life, like education, work history, skills, awards and honors, interests and hobbies, references, etc. For the length of CV, it is an in-depth document that can be laid out over 2 or more pages. For the stability, it doesn't involve any major changes. So for the resume, the term resume is a French word that means to sum up. So that is the use of resume, to sum up your job accomplishment and experience. So for the length of resume, it is typically not longer than 1 page. And for the stability, it always changes. So all in all, you will use a resume when you apply for most jobs. And you will use a curriculum vitae if you want to apply for academic or research position. Thank you.
So good day everyone, I'm Mary Ann Armas and today we're going to talk about application letter. Did you know that application letter is also known as a cover letter? It is a document sent with your resume that provides additional information about your skills and experiences. So the first purpose is to introduce you or yourself in that organization. Second is to mention the job or the kind of job you're looking for or applying for. Third is to mention the skills and experiences required by the job. And lastly is to highlight the parts of your resume that is more relevant in the organization. Next we have the writing guidelines. For the length, application letter shouldn't be more than 1 page, since it is just a summary of the information you put in your resume. So remember to keep things short. For the format and page margins, application letter should be single space with space between each paragraph. Use 1-inch margins and align your text to the left, which is the standard alignment. Lastly is for the font. Use a traditional font such as Times New Roman, Calibri, or Arial. The font size should be between 10 to 12 points. So application letter is divided into 3 sections. We have the introduction, the body, and the close. For the introduction, it includes why the applicant is writing. The body, it discusses the relevant qualifications. And for the close, it gives things to the reader and provides follow-up details. Based on the examples we provided, for the introduction, you can say there that the applicant stated her reasons why she is writing an application letter. For the body, the applicant includes her qualifications, skills, or experiences and abilities that she has. And lastly, for the close, the applicant gives things to the employer and gives her contact details and email address for the follow-up details. What else do you think is included in an application letter? First, include your name, contact details, email address, home address, name and contact details you're writing to, their position, the name of their company, the date you wrote the letter on the top of the letter, and signature at the end or bottom of the letter. For the next topic, we have the tips for writing an effective application letter. So first is use a business letter format. So since you're applying for a job, you should use a business letter format. Next is to sell yourself. So throughout the letter, you must focus on how you will benefit the job. Provide specific examples when you demonstrate skills or abilities that would be useful for the job, especially those listed on the job posting or description. Third is to keep it brief. So when you're writing an application letter, it should be short, since an employer is most likely to read a concise letter. So last is to edit. So when you're already done writing an application letter, make sure to reread it. If possible, ask a friend or a career counselor to review the letter. Make sure to proofread it to identify if there's any grammatically or spelling errors. So for the do's and don'ts, first is to make it easy for them to contact you. So when you're writing an application letter, make sure to provide your contact details or email address. Second, in the introduction, mention the employer on how you found the job listing and why you are attracted to the position. So make sure to state your reasons on why you are writing an application letter. Third one, be sure to mention your strengths regarding the position. So when you're writing an application letter, make sure to provide your skills, qualifications, or abilities that you have. That's all.
Good day everyone, again my name is Ella Pierre and I'm going to discuss the continuation of Mary's report. So the number 4 is related to the previous work. If you include some similar work that you have done, then show to the employer that you are capable and knowledgeable to the task that the job entails. So the next is speak a little bit what you can bring to the table. This would be a good time for you to speak anything that sets you apart from the other applicant. So the last one is to make sure your letter is polite, formal, and condensed. For you to be able to have the letter that is polite, condensed, and formal, you have to use appropriate and proper language, avoid slang, and also add a personal touch to your letter by signing it with a pen. And also, don't forget to take them for their time and consideration. So we're now done discussing the do's. Let's now proceed to the don'ts. What are the don'ts in writing the application letter? First, do not start off your letter with whom it may concern. Why? This is easy and very general. Find out who will be receiving your application letter and your resume, then address them directly. If you aren't sure about that, then you may inquire so that you will be able to provide a salutation instead of using a general or a vague greeting. The salutation, it is a greeting that used in a letter or in a written or non-written communication. The salutation used in a cover letter, if done correctly, shows that you are polite, considerate, and very interested to the job. So the second one is, do not write irrelevant information to your letter. Remember that your letter is only one page, so it is important that you cut out anything that is not necessary for the employer to know. And also stick to the positive and relevant information that will support your resume. Okay, so the third one is, do not say why you are looking for a new job. Your future employer doesn't need to know why you are looking for a new job and why do you need a new job. And also when you are writing an application letter, refrain from saying or speaking badly about your bosses or co-workers from your previous work. The last one is, do not send your letter without proofreading. Obviously, your typos, but grammars and spelling mistakes will be surely noticed by your future employers. This can make you look unprofessional and careless. Be sure that you will read your application letter at least 3 times because there's nothing worse than sending off your letter than discovering a flaw or a mistake from you. So we're now done discussing the do's and don'ts in writing an application letter. As Mary mentioned a while ago, the application letter is a letter that provides additional information about your educational accomplishments and your work experience. So we do have 2 types of application letter. First, solicited letter, and the second one is unsolicited letter. When we say solicited letter, it is a letter that starts by stating what position are you looking for and where does the person saw the advertisement. When we say the unsolicited letter, it is a letter that has the desire for employment for the specific company that has not posted the job requisition. Okay, so I know some of you here are confused between the application letter and the resume. So let me give you an idea what is the difference between the two. So when we say the application letter, it is a letter that provides an additional touch to your job application. And when we say the resume, it is a brief summary of your educational background, your skills, and your accomplishments. So that's all for application letter.
Hi everyone, my name is Leslie Pasibang and I'm going to discuss about resignation letter. So what is resignation letter? Resignation letter is a letter that is given by an employee to her employer stating that he or she is giving up on her position formal way.
The purpose of resignation letter is to inform your employer your intent to leave or resign from the company. This is to provide an official record of notice, to provide details on about the employee's last day, and to maintain the good relationship between your employer. Next is the resignation letter template. First is, in resignation letter template, you should include your name, your street address, your city, your phone number, and your email address. After that, you also include today's date, and then include also your employer's name, your employer's title, and then your employer's company name. So in resignation letter, you don't need to be creative. You just need to be direct to the point. Opening your resignation letter, first you start with the salutation. Salutation examples are, "Dear, to whom it may concern," etc. And then, after your salutation, you follow it with your employer's name. And then, in the first paragraph, you just need to be simple and direct to the point. So, in the first paragraph, you just include your position, the position you are resigning from, and its effective date. On the second paragraph, here you include the thank you. Thanking your employer for the opportunity to work in the company. Also in here, you can include the experiences and the things you have learned while working with the company. And then on the third and last paragraph, here you will state your willingness to help out with the transition. But remember, don't promise things that you can deliver. So in here, just take some few lines to help wrap up your duties. This is just to show that you're still in the game until the very end. So in closing your resignation letter, you will use a complimentary clause or a valediction. Valediction examples are sincerely, regards, etc. And then after your valediction, include your name and then your signature itself.
Tips for writing a resignation letter. First, be direct and to the point. When you are going to write your resignation letter, be precise and to the point. Second, be professional. When you are writing your resignation letter, you should set aside your personal matters or issue in the company. Third one is give notice of your last day. You should state here your time when you are going to leave the company. Fourth is provide information about the transition. If you are going to write your resignation letter, maybe you should recommend someone that will go to replace your position in the company. So fifth is proofread and spell check. When you are going to write your resignation letter, make sure it is readable and understandable. Last is seek legal advice. So when you are trying to quit from your position in a company, think 1,000 times before you are going to write your resignation letter. So next is best practices. First, be sure to deliver both a printed copy with your signature and an email copy. In writing your resignation letter, you should provide a hard copy and a soft copy. Second is discuss the final details of your employment. In writing your resignation letter, you should state your duration of time staying in the company. Third is offer to help transition the role to someone else at the company. You should offer someone to the company that will go to replace your position in the company. Fourth is provide the required amount of notice. You should state the number of days will be listed in a regional employment agreement. Last is organize your desk and personal affairs in the event company and ask you to leave immediately. So after writing your resignation letter, you should clean your desk and immediately leave the company.
So here are the things that you should at least try to avoid when resigning from the company. First is criticizing the company or any people that work there. Second, refusing to come in and work for the duration of your notice period. Third, bragging about some amazing new opportunity of job you found. Fourth, avoiding your boss and refuse to talk about transition planning. Fifth, convincing co-workers they should resign too. And last, spreading rumors or misinformation. If you try to do these things, it might have a big impact to you and to your work. Because if you want to work with another company, They might treat you as their threat because they will think that what you might do to your previous company, you might do to them as well. So think wisely and act wisely. Happy quitting.
Good day! I am Marjorie Esser, and I'm going to discuss about employment interview. First of all, we all know that interviewing is an integral part of hiring process, right? It provides a business owner with their primary opportunity to learn about the candidate's work experience, education, and their interpersonal abilities, as well as their characteristics, such as enthusiasm, that are rarely conveyed in the resume. In interview, your job is to convince a recruiter that you have your skills, knowledge, and your experience for that job. So, you must show some motivation. And also, you must convince a recruiter that you are fit in that corporate education as well the job description. For that, you will be much closer to an offer. Before going to an interview, I think it is very important to have a good baseline of knowledge about the company. Hopefully, during an interview, you will learn a lot, like whether if the organization or the company's culture is good fit for you. But during an interview is not the right time to learn about the basic information of the company. There's because you should already know these things before going to an interview. So now, I am here in front of you to tell you two things that may help you before going to an interview. The first one will be review the organization. Yes, we know that it is very important, right?
Yes.
To review the organization because it is very important for being us to be well known about the company before going to an interview. So the first thing that you may do is to visit the company's website because there you can see the review of the organization's mission statement, history, and their service and products, as well as the information about their culture of the company. The information is usually seen in the About Us section of the website. If there's a press section, then read to the future links there. Pay attention to the themes that comes up repeatedly. As many as any stated corporate values, the words that the company describes themselves are telling. Do you want to work to a workplace that people are driving to excellence, or does it make you feel tired? Do you want to work to a workplace where people are considering their co-workers as their family? Or do you want a distance between your job and your personal life? Organization use a hyperbole when talking about or describing about themselves, but it is pretty often telling hyperbole. The second one will be browse social media. Check the social media accounts of the company. Visit their Facebook, their Google accounts, their Instagram, as well as their Twitter pages, because this will give you a good sense of how the company wants its consumer to see it. And also, you may follow or like their pages if you want to get updated, because in this kind of doings, you may find information that you may not have been found before. The third one will be use LinkedIn. Does anybody here knows what is LinkedIn? Does everybody knows here in the class what is LinkedIn? There's no one. I would say what is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a social network website that usually used by a business person to communicate or to to look for a job opportunities as well as to share information about business. So why are you going to use LinkedIn? It is very important because it is a good way to find because we are too innovative in terms of technology. This LinkedIn is very convenient. In just one glance, you will find more information about the business that you are interested in. And if you are able to connect and to have a information about the new hiring jobs, about the job related companies and companies to business. So, if you have any connections in the company, you should consider connecting with them. Not just to put good words into you, but also for you to have a idea or his or her idea about his or her perspective on that company. Yes, you're right. And also, the most special one is you will be having some, or you will get some tips to have an easy interview. The fourth one will be tap your connection. If you know anyone who works in the same company, then ask them to give help. And if you are a college graduate, you can immediately ask for your career guidance to give you a list of alumni who already work there. And after that, you're going to contact them and have some conversation and ask for assistance about the company. If one will be get to know the industry and also the competitors, as well as researching about the company, it will also make a good sense if you have an overall knowledge about the industry. You should also consider knowing the biggest competitors as well as their achievements and their flaws. For that, it will make a good impact for your hiring manager. So now, let's get to know how to use this research during an interview, or how you may use or how it will benefit all those research that you have done during an interview. Usually, the interviewer asks questions to the candidates to get to know them. But their main goal is to determine if the candidates is fit or good fit for the position and to the company. And all those researches that you have done will help you to respond to the questions more completely, and also it will show that you are helpful to their business goal and also to their bottom line. Matching your qualifications to the requirements of a job is very important step, because linking the examples that demonstrate your experience, your skills, and your education or knowledge to the employer requirements helps you to do the following. The first one is to decide if the job will showcase all your talents in a meaningful way. And the second one will be visually see how you fit in on that role, on that kind of role. Third one will be, it will help you to tailor your cover letter and your resume to that position. Knowing the answers to the first 2 points is very essential before going to a job. If the position is right fit for you, or if it is a good fit for you, then go for it. If it is not good fit for you, save yourself some time by finding another match-worthy position for you. The third point is very important for those who are moving forward for their job application. By matching your skills to the job requirements, You will have a better understanding why you are a good fit for the company or for the position. And after that, you will customize a killer resume to land your interview. That's all for my discussion. Thank you for listening.
So before I discuss my topic, I want to introduce myself. I'm Reina Santos Casino. So in prepare responses, it is the most interviews that involve in combination of resume based on behavioral and case questions. So we encourage you to meet with us to train or to practice your telling story in possible way. So next is plan what to wear. In plan what to wear, we have four. First one is go neutral. So it is the conservative business attire such as neutral colored suit and professional shoes is the best. So the second is the ERR formal. So in the ERR formal, if instructed, best casual or dress casual, use good judgment. And the third one is plug in that iron. In that iron, make sure that your clothes are neat and clean. And the last one is the dress to impress. Make sure that your all-over attire is good and wrinkle free. And the last one is plan what to bring. In plan what to bring, we have 6. So first one, make sure that you have your another copies of your resume. The second is bring your professional binder or pen. And the third one is the list of references. And the fourth is your information that complete your compilation. And the last one is your record of your work and your experience. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Angela, and now we're down to the last 2 topics for preparation for a job interview. On a job interview, you might think that if you have the best answers to the interview questions, you'll get the job. Well, in fact, that isn't necessarily the case. A big part of the success of your answers is actually nonverbal communication. This includes your body language, intonation, pauses, size, and facial expressions. Nonverbal communication also includes your attire and grooming. And now let's go to the last preparation for a job interview. It's important to remember that every interview is a two-way street. You should assess the employer just as much as they are assessing you. So when the tables are turned and the interviewer asks, "Do you have any questions?" take advantage of this opportunity. Preparing for a job interview questions to ask the interviewer is just as important as preparing your answers to the questions they will ask. Take your time and be thoughtful on your answers and questions. Use good judgment on how many questions you will ask as well. It's best to go with at least 3 to 5 questions to ask in an interview. Before going for an interview, make sure you are dressed professionally, neatly groomed, shoes are polished. What's important when interviewing is to appear professional, attentive, and confident throughout the interview process. Now, are you ready for a job interview in the future? That's all. Thank you.